Hi, this is Mike, and welcome back to 5 Minutes of Fantasy Sports. So, coming to you live from the laundry room here. Just had the All Star game yesterday, and Steph Curry, man, if he can play like that during the rest of the season, then I am getting first place. But anyway, what I wanted to do today is look for me. The playoffs start after the rest of this week for me. So it's quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, week 19, 20, 21. Just want to look at some maybe ads you can do if you're in a similar situation. Players who I think will be useful down the stretch that might be available on waiver wire. And then also just talk a little bit of strategy as far as rosters and moves and things like that. So let's get into my team. And so one player that I would recommend everyone get right now is a person who I just added today. The big news in Fantasyville is Chris Paul is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, which is basically the rest of the season. So the person I added, and I'll scroll to tomorrow just to find the player and look at his stats, is Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne on Phoenix. He's been injured as well for quite a while, so he's probably available. Looks like in Yahoo Leagues he's available he's 30% rosters, so he's 70% available. The Suns expect him back. His right wrist has been sore for a long time. And he's probably going to slide right into the starting lineup, so he should do the same thing for yours. So for me now in my team, I have 40 moves allowed in my league. I've used 39 of them. So I can't really afford many injuries. But one thing I did give myself a little leeway with is I have an IL plus. So any player who's game time decision or does get injured in the future, I can put him into the injured spot. So I'm holding right now Kevin Porter Jr. on my IL plus because he's a game time decision. Guys, I could maybe put there RJ Barrett, James Harden. Hopefully James Harden plays. But that's a good strategy if you have an IL plus move as well to keep him over there. So if I have to, eventually, if everyone stays healthy, to get Kevin Porter Jr. off my bench, I'm going to have to drop somebody. And it might be Poku because just look at this guy, man. Poku. Looks like a pencil. He's basically Alexei Pencilowski. I just came up with that right now. Not my best work, but anyway, he's hopefully someone who can put some numbers up. But this is the team I'm rolling with for the playoffs. Someone to look at for sure. Players that might be available: Cameron Thomas. I was looking at Kyrie, and if he stays unvaccinated and nothing changes with New York's vaccination requirements, he's only going to play something like 8 of the next 22 games. So he's not going to be of much use. Hopefully Kevin Durant's back soon. But Kyrie Irving, not going to play much. Ben Simmons is going to be coming back as well. But Cameron Thomas should get some significant shooting guard minutes. And he's been putting up some pretty good numbers as well. Not limited action. He played 36 minutes, 32, 26, 30, 28. So he should probably stay around that usage, especially if he is putting up good numbers, scoring 20 points and everything like that. He hit a game winner a couple games ago against the Knicks? But yeah, he's been putting up some great stats. Anyway, I would recommend looking into him. He's 39% rostered. That's going to be the big additions that I wanted to go over. But yeah, as far as the playoffs go, you want to have your best squad ready to move forward with. Paul George is supposed to have an update soonish. Let me check it on my phone, actually, because the player chat, man, if you're using the player chat, it's basically like wading through filth to find something useful. It's a lot of nonsense, a lot of weird talk, but there is sometimes something useful in there because people will put what they find on Twitter and stuff like that. But Paul George is supposed to get an MRI on his elbow it says MRI coming soon, MRI, MRI soon. What's the date? February 24th, it looks like, is going to be that. So that's just 3 days away. So if you're someone who has later playoffs, Paul George, if he gets a clean MRI on his elbow and he's able to get some, reps in maybe in practice and then eventually ramp it up, he might be back by week 20, week 21. So if you have an extra IL spot, he might be worth looking at there. Dylan Brooks I had to drop because I need people to play on my roster. Dylan Brooks is supposed to be back the beginning of March. Alex Caruso, has it been 8 weeks already? No, I don't think he'll be back for a while. He fractured his wrist. That was a dirty play, but we don't need to rehash these old memories here. So, anyway, yeah, Christian Okiki is someone to look at. Or sorry, Chuma Okiki. I think he'll be putting up some decent numbers as well. So yeah, you want to look to see if guys are coming off injury, see who's available, and especially see what your team needs are as well. So for me, just looking at the playoffs, right now in my league, I'm down 3-6. I'm barely down free throw percentage. I'm down 11 threes, which with Steph hopefully can get switched over. So if I swap those two categories, that's a 5-4 win. Rebounds is close-ish, and it could go the other way too. I could lose turnovers, especially if James Harden isn't so great when he first comes back. But just look at your team, look at what you need. Your goal, obviously, is to win as many categories as you can. So if you have some moves available, I would consider, even adding a player or two at the end of the week. Just see how many games you can get, and if you have a guy you're ready to drop anyway, it might be worth it. So we'll call it there. Baseball season's starting up soon, so I'll be probably doing some overview videos on baseball, so stay tuned for those. But that's all for today, and I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see you soon.